or you're starting to feel festive, you know, maybe you've listened to one or two Christmas songs and heading in that direction. I wasn't feeling super Christmassy until yesterday when I went to my work Christmas party. For some reason they always do it in like late November instead of December, but I had a very good time. I've been so excited to film this video for months. Ever since I started an ASMR channel, I thought I can't wait to show my Christmas decorations. Not because they're particularly exciting or wild, but just because I love decorating. I love Christmas, I love Halloween. Any kind of excuse to dress up my house a little bit. So, as you can see, I have these fairy lights, and these normally live on my Christmas tree. They don't live on the couch, surprisingly enough. And I really like coloured lights on a Christmas tree, and I think it's mainly just because most of my ornaments are shiny, so I like the way that they kind of reflect everything. And I do prefer my kind of Christmas decor to be more childish. Childish? Is that the word? Childish? I prefer them to be like a bit more chaotic, right? Because that's how I remember Christmas in the early 2000s growing up. So yeah, but on my windows this year, and I unfortunately can't show you without giving away my street, but I just have like these kind of icicle white fairy lights, but they're a nice warm white. I hate bright white fairy lights personally, but I know everyone has their own taste, right? And some people hate tacky coloured lights. So that is my first item, and you can see I have my little candelabra here, and that's just a little kind of cheaply made one from, I think it's from like B&M or Home Bargains or something like that. Before I go any further, I should say we plan on buying a tree and putting up the tree tomorrow. So this is my last chance to film this video, and I have neighbours on 4 sides. I have above and below, behind you, and then behind, just like in that direction. So I'm aware that there is a lot of background noise. I also live on, you know, the road is here, so unless I make videos at like 3 in the morning, which I can't do because you'd hear my boyfriend snoring in the background, there will always be background noise in my videos. You know, I live in central London, so that's just kind of par for the course. I don't know if that's the correct expression, but you get what I'm trying to say. But I hope that it's not too difficult, and again, this is more of a kind of lo-fi style. I'm not really tech savvy, so I think my videos will always be lo-fi. So hopefully it just kind of blends into the muffled white noise that you probably hear in the background. I should also say that obviously Pre-Loved ASMR is my channel name, and I'd say, you know, 364 days a year I do tend to buy everything secondhand where possible, but for my Christmas decorations there's just some little demon inside of me that it's just a little kind of consumer, I guess. So I'd say about half of my Christmas decorations are maybe pre-loved, so either things I bought from a charity shop or things that my mum has given to me over the years. But for the most part, I think a lot of these decorations I bought from various just high street shops, which I do feel a bit guilty about. I'm very kind of conscious of fast homeware, fast fashion, whatever, and I feel so guilty every time I buy anything new when I could have gotten it secondhand. But at Christmas time I feel like everyone just kind of gets the shopping bug and tends to go a little bit crazy, so with it being Christmas I will let myself off, but I've told myself I'm not going to buy any new decorations for the foreseeable future. I'm going to try and buy everything secondhand going forward, and I'm going to look after the ornaments that I've got. So let's get on to the actual flesh of the video. This big cardboard box, and this lives in the cupboard on the top shelf. I got my boyfriend to fish it down. So before we get onto tree ornaments, these are some of my kind of buntingy, tinsely bits. So I can't remember where we got this, but I love it. It's like a fiesta kind of bunting, I guess you'd call it. And this normally just goes in our hallway, so just behind this door we have a little entryway, and I just like to kind of thread it on the ceiling. I'll just tape it up there because we don't really have any hooks or anything. And here we have tinsel. I have this lovely green. Blue. I don't really think of blue as being a festive colour, but I really do like this tinsel. We have another green. We have this little gold. Here I have this kind of XL paper chain. And I made this last year just with some coloured card and some tape. If you look up close you can tell that they're taped together, which I don't think looks so great. But I think from a distance it's quite effective. I made this to go on the tree, but it didn't look so good last year, so we ended up putting it on the window instead. But now we have the lights on the window. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it this year, so I guess we'll just wait and see where I decide to put these. I have a couple more tinsely bits. I actually wore these around my neck to the work Christmas party yesterday. So they smell of perfume actually, they smell quite nice. So this one has little love hearts on, and it's kind of hot pink, I'd say, rather than red. But maybe you can't tell with the lighting of the video. Okay, now I've got tinsel everywhere. Here we have this table runner, and we bought this, my partner and I bought it for our first Christmas together, and when we were living in York we had quite a long kind of rectangular table, but in London we just have a small circular table, so I think we'll stick it on anyway, and if we put a white tablecloth underneath it might look good. But I just really like it. I like the reindeer, I like the kind of grandma vibe that it brings. We also just have these random bits of ribbon, and I like to tie these to the branches of my tree, or tie them to chairs, tie them to door handles, that kind of thing. Anything that I think needs a little spruce, a Christmas spruce, I will stick some gold ribbon on there. And this is our last homeware item. I have this stocking, and it looks like I got it from like Flying Tiger, somewhere like that. It's quite kind of cheaply made, not very in keeping with my grandma tablecloth. But who doesn't like a bit of chaos, eh? So yeah, I'm not a stocking person. I don't come from a stocking family, as in we had stockings, but there would never be presents in the stockings. But I know that some people like open their stockings in bed, I think, in the morning, but I think that just detracts from the fun of going and looking at the Christmas tree in the morning when all the presents are there, right? So I prefer my stockings just to be decorative rather than filled. So this bag has a little sleepy Father Christmas. Is full of my Christmas tree decorations. Now you'll see there's a kind of overriding theme. Most of my decorations are quite tacky, retro, kitsch, and you'll know what I mean when you see the style of them, and that's really come back into fashion over the last few years, and now every high street shop is selling these kind of retro, kitsch decorations, and I'm starting to kind of go off them, so I'm thinking if if by next year I'm still not that into them, I'll probably donate quite a lot and I'll buy some wooden or fabric decorations. But we'll see. But I do still love my decorations for now. I'm just aware that they feel a bit generic. They feel less personalised because everyone has them. This is another issue I get when I buy things new instead of second-hand. I feel like they're not special, and I don't really value them as much. But that being said, I will show you my decorations. So I'm just going to reach in randomly and see what we end up with. So this is a little blue fabric star. It's very soft. It's a bit boring, but I think it's important to have a few boring ornaments along the way to kind of detract from the insane, gaudy ornaments. Let's go next. So this is a little red fabric star with gold and white beading. It has these kind of chevron, little chevron pattern, and there are some white beads in the middle. And I love these types of decorations because they remind me of like medieval times or the Tudor times, I guess. And I don't know why. I think it's more to do with the colour scheme than the actual kind of materials. But yeah, I really do love this, and I'd like a few more like this, but I just can't remember where we bought it. But I've definitely seen similar ones knocking around. Here we have a little lucky cat. So this is the kind of kitsch, retro, generic ornaments that I'm talking about. I don't know why we have a lucky cat, to be honest. I don't think it has any real meaning. I think we just liked the look of it. And I can't remember where we bought it again, but he is sweet. So this is our dinosaur. What type of dinosaur is it? Is this a velociraptor? I don't know. You know, I'm terrible with dinosaurs. My sister's really good with them. But I was never really into dinosaurs. They've never really interested me. But I think it's a velociraptor. But please let me know if I'm wrong. He has a little Christmas hat and a scarf. Now, I wouldn't typically go for an ornament like this, but we actually bought this on a trip to the Natural History Museum, and that was before we moved to London. And we just wanted a little kind of memento from our trip, and I think it was near Christmas time, so we decided to go for this. And he is special for that reason. He has a little beak, I guess you'd call it. Yeah, but he's really sweet. Next we have this very nostalgic feeling little bell shape. Now this is like a silk wrapped decoration, and these are very classic from the 70s and 90s, I want to say. But I remember at primary school we had a Christmas tree, and it always used to have these types of decorations. And they're very simple, but they're very sweet. And yeah, again, I think I'd like to try and find some more like this, the kind of silk wrapped ones. Silk spun silk. I don't know the word. Here we have a pear. This used to belong to my mum, and my mum always has festive fruits on her tree. That's one of her traditions. She loves to have fruits. My boyfriend's mum, however, always has birds on her tree. So we have a few little birds and we have a few festive fruits to kind of balance out the family traditions. I never used to like festive fruits, but the older I get, the more I really appreciate them. I think if real fruits looked like this, then I'd probably eat a lot more fruit, because that looks really like appetizing to me. actually have a little chamomile tea here, which I forgot about. That's nice. Cool. So next I've pulled out this little donkey, and I think he's the most adorable little guy. Isn't he so sweet? I don't know where we got him from, but again he has a little red scarf and a Christmas hat. And he's so small. I mean, he's just perfect. I love anything kind of toy-like on my Christmas tree. So I really like him. Here we have another kitsch tacky decoration, and this is a little hedgehog. I am desperate for a pet hedgehog, but I understand that they're endangered and they shouldn't really be kept as pets. I think you can get African pygmy hedgehogs, but they're not quite as sweet as the European hedgehogs, which are these little brown ones. The African pygmy hedgehogs, I think, have the white spikes, like like a 90s boy band kind of thing, early 2000s. But yeah, I really like him. I think this is probably one of my favourite baubles. So it's just this big velvet blue sphere, I guess, and it has this kind of metallic detail with the beading. It has some sequins down the side, and it has these red and green beads in the middle. And again, this reminds me of the Tudors, or the, maybe a bit earlier, like kind of Renaissance-y, medieval-y times. I think it's so lovely in a very kind of traditional way. I really do like it. Next up we have just this little stocking, and I can't remember where I got this. I don't know if it used to belong to my mum, but it's just very simple and sweet, little kind of crochet piece. Okay, next we have a rubber duck, for no particular reason, just because we liked it. This is a little fabric Father Christmas, and again, it's not really my style whatsoever, but he didn't make it onto my mum's tree one year, and I felt so sorry for him because he was left out. So I adopted him as my own, and now he makes it onto my tree every year. And it's kind of a personal mission that no ornament will ever feel left out on my tree. And even if it's really ugly and awful, I'll just put it to the back of the tree, but it will always be there. So here is one of our festive birds, but he's actually missing a beak. He should have a little beak here, so I might have to kind of DIY something. And he clips on, actually. And anyone who knows me knows that I hate grey. If I could eradicate anything off the face of the earth, it would be the colour grey. I don't even think it's a colour. It's like I don't know. I just hate grey. I hate anything grey. I mean, some things I don't hate, but for the most part, I do despise it. And this is like the reason I don't go to the gym is because the walls are always grey, and it just puts me in an awful mood. Which I know is ridiculous. But it actually depresses me to be around the colour grey. I don't mind grey clothes so much. It's everything else. Like grey walls, grey furniture, grey whatever. I can't stand it. I hate this bird, to be honest, but like I said, it's my boyfriend's tradition to have birds, so I will respect it. And like I said, he'll still make it onto the tree. is just a little gold teddy bear. And he was another one that didn't make it onto my mum's tree, and I felt bad for him, so I adopted him. And he's just a kind of classic decoration. We've had him my whole life, I think, so he's probably from like the late 90s. But he's just a little traditional plastic guy. This is an adorable little squirrel holding an acorn. I think he has orange gloves. He's on a little red string. Again, he's wearing a red scarf. But I just think he's really lovely. I love anything felted. Really sweet. Okay. This feels like another festive fruit. Oh, it's a tomato actually, which technically is a fruit, so I wasn't wrong. This is quite glittery, and I prefer things to be shiny instead of glittery, but I don't think he's too awful. We do have a lot of foodie ornaments, and that's because we're quite a foodie couple. I love to eat food, and my boyfriend's a chef, so I feel like I mention that in every video for some reason. Yeah, but I do quite like this tomato, but it's not got the same kind of, I want to say like ceramic feel that the others do. This sounds a bit more plasticky. This is one of my favourite decorations. It's this little Russian bear. He's quite rotund, and I think he's holding like a little pot of honey, I'd guess. He has his big chunky arms and feet. Sorry, I think there's some glare from the lamp, which I can't quite mask, but I love him so much. I bought him from the Christmas markets in York, and I believe it was a stall selling Russian dolls. Matryoshka. I think that's the word. And they were selling him, and he's not a Russian doll. He's just his own person, but I just love him, and I love anything small and wooden. But I like his little cheeky expression. I think his face is hilarious. So yeah, he's definitely one of my favourites. Another festive fruit, this time it's a green apple. That totally didn't sound good. It almost sounds like a little... No, actually it doesn't sound good at all. I was going to say it sounds like a kalimba, I think it's called. But no, not for ASMR purposes, I won't try that. So this is just a tin of sardines. Oh, its string has gone missing. I'm going to have to restring quite a few of these ornaments. I can't remember if I bought it for my boyfriend or if we saw it together, but we definitely got it with my boyfriend in mind. Again, a lot of people assume that my boyfriend loves tinned fish, because I think quite a lot of kind of foodie folk are really into it, you know, like the nice Spanish tinned fish, but really we're not really into it. So we have a lot of tinned fish that we never use, we'll never eat, but the packaging's nice, so they're actually on that bottom shelf here somewhere. Yeah, but as a Christmas decoration I approve. I know which one this is just from holding it. It's this little reindeer, but if you put his antlers down, he actually just looks like a little teddy bear, and he has such a lovely weight to him. Yeah, he's a really, really cute little guy. He's wearing these crossback dungarees, this really nice little brown scarf, and he has a little red nose. And this was another one that my mum, for whatever reason, decided wasn't going to make it onto a tree. But I think he's absolutely adorable, so yeah. I'll make sure that he's nice and cozy and toasty. I might put him near the radiator side of the tree. This is a little snail. I don't really have any affiliations with snails, but I do quite like him. I like yellow and pink as a colour combo. Yeah, so he made it into the collection somehow. We have these cherries, but I don't really like them at all. I think I'll probably donate them next year. I don't know what it is about them that I don't like. They're just kind of clunky. If you get what I'm saying. I don't know. I think it's just like white detail here. I don't know. I think they're kind of kitsch in the wrong way. And like these two cherries are stuck together at the bottom. And I think it's just one of those badly made generic ones. So I think I'll donate this one next year. There are a couple more that are in my donation pile, but I'll fish them out as I go along. This is actually one that is in the donation pile, and this is a glittery truck, and it has presents on the back. And I don't know why I don't like it. Again, I think it's because it's glittery rather than shiny, and I prefer things to be shiny. So I'm just not too drawn in by this one. I think with the coloured lights actually it does look quite sweet. I'll try and pull those out because it is still quite reflective. But I'm not sure. I think someone else could probably love it a bit more than I do. So he might make it this year, but next year I'll probably give him away. And this is just another one of those classic silk ornaments. I love this one because it reminds me of a circus ball. Like, is that what you'd call it? I don't know. Like, it just reminds me of the circus. And again, it's these silk strips. I think it's really nice. The silk's slightly fraying. Fraying, is that the word? Yeah, it's slightly. No, it's a different word. Fraying. Oh no, maybe it is fraying. You get what I'm saying though, like there are little threads starting to come off the sides. I could probably snip them off, or I could graze them off somehow. But I'd really like some more decorations like this. Obviously I need to give it a different string because it looks a bit clunky. But yeah, I do really like this. Okay. Festive fruit for sure. Oh yeah. This is a tacky. This is just a tacky red apple. I prefer the green ones to the red ones, I think, but there's something very like pantomime-y about this. Just gonna have some more tea. I really hope the background noise isn't going to be an issue for this video. What's this? I'm guessing this is soy sauce. Yeah. This is just another one we got because we liked it, because it's food related. Now I think this is maybe my favourite ornament. I received this one as a gift from my boyfriend last year, and it was from a shop that I absolutely loved, and it was called Folka, Folka, I think, and it closed like several months ago, but it sold, I believe, Polish folk art. I could be wrong, it might just be kind of general Eastern European folk art, or little kind of handicrafts. But I absolutely loved it. I loved everything in that shop. I think they have an online shop now, to be fair, but I need to look into that. But this is a beautiful black bauble with these paper cutting designs, I guess. I think these are roosters, chickens, roosters, hens, cockerels, any of the above. And then there are these lovely flowers. And yeah, isn't that just gorgeous? And I believe these are quite expensive, obviously, because they're handmade, so I appreciate that needs to be the case, but yeah, I was delighted when my boyfriend presented me with this. I just think it's beautiful, and I like that it's on a black bauble. I think that kind of makes it stand out in a way because everything else is so vibrant. Yeah, I really, really love this though. I love the little pink ribbon as well. I might try and find a similar ribbon to this for some of my other baubles which are missing ribbons or need to be restrung. This is just a little wooden snowman. I can't remember where we found him, but he's got some skis, he has his little red nose and his top hat, and he's just a jolly little fellow, and I really do love him. The older I get, the more I like wooden decorations, I've realised. I think wood is just kind of timeless. So he's really sweet. Because of like the glue on his nose, I don't think it'll focus enough for you to see. But where the glue on his nose is, it makes him look like he's almost a little bit snotty. But again, I find that quite endearing. No, I think this one sounds really good. I don't know if it will translate very well on camera or on my microphone. But this is just a little foil golden bauble, I guess, decoration. And it's just very flimsy, but I think it's quite beautiful actually, especially again if I hold it next to the lights. It kind of reflects a few different colours, and I always like that, anything that adds a bit more vibrancy to the tree. Yeah, so I really like that. Again, I'm more of a gold person than a silver person, and that's not just in terms of what I suit, it's also in terms of decorations. I love anything gold. Now this was either one my mum gave to me or it's one we got second hand. I think we got it second hand because I don't remember seeing it on my tree at home. But this is a little mouse and he has this little crown on top of his head and this ruff, I want to say, I don't know if it's meant to be like a scarf or a fascinator, little whiskers, a black nose, some holly, is it holly? Yeah, on its hiney, and a little candy stripe tail. And again, I love anything felted, and I just love how kind of gaudy he is. I think he's really, really sweet, and I'm glad to have him on my tree. It's a mystery piece of string. This is a little crab. I think we got him again with kind of seafood food in mind, but I do also like the kind of, you know, like kitsch Santa on the beach drinking a pina colada imagery, you know, like tacky Christmas cards. I love a summery, beachy Christmas theme. So I do like this little crab. Okay, I think my downstairs neighbours are now having a party or just playing music very loudly. So I guess I'll just keep filming because like I said, I have no other choice. I could cut the video short, or I could carry on filming and we'll just ignore the background noise. But like I said, I'm putting the tree up tomorrow, so this is really my last chance. Just keep it up and hope that the noise calms down. This is the other decoration that I think I'll be giving away, or donating next year, if not this year. And he's a little owl, and I do like owls, but again, I think it's just this kind of iridescent glitter I'm not really a fan of, and I don't think it really works on these kind of older looking decorations. I think I like things to either look old or look new, and this kind of hybrid just doesn't cut it for me, unfortunately. But again, someone will love him, so I'll be sure to donate him rather than just kind of leaving him, abandoning him. We have this little lodge. So we have a sleigh with some presents on there. We have a little Christmas tree. We have this little man in a top hat, I guess. And we have these reindeer antlers on the roof. Really, really sweet. Again, I just love wooden decorations at the minute. I have this Chinese takeout box. I'm not a Chinese takeout fan, to be honest. I'd always opt for Indian over Chinese. I mean, obviously there are other options, but I feel like they're the top two. If you ask most people in the UK what their favourite takeaway is, more often than not they will say Indian or Chinese, and I'm team Indian. This is a little cake stand, and my old manager bought this for me actually, because she knows I love gaudy decorations, and she knows that I love cake. I love cake. I'm like a cake addict, to be honest. So this is actually the second ornament, because I broke the first one that my manager bought for me. But I really did like it, so then I went to the shop the next day and I bought an identical one. I didn't let her know that I'd broken it, but I don't suppose it matters because I still have the ornament because of her, you know? We have a little cob of corn, and then we have this kind of droplet, and it's just plastic and plastic again, but I really, really do like this. I think it's really pretty, and I wish I had a few more like this. I just really like the way that they stand out, the way that it kind of, the light shines through. Yeah, so I'm hoping to find some more like this. Maybe I can have a look on eBay or nip to the charity shops nearby, see if they have anything similar. I think the music downstairs is getting progressively louder, so I'm just going to try and quickly run through my last few ornaments. We have this lovely little penguin with a kind of bristles texture. Really, really sweet. I have my little felt gingerbread man, again with a red scarf. That seems to be the trend of the Christmas tree ornaments. We have this pumpkin, which we actually bought for Halloween, but we keep him in the Christmas box, so he makes it onto the tree every year. So sweet. We have this festive bird, which we saw at a charity shop, and it's objectively disgusting. It has red eyes, it has this like weird green tail, it's like a very coarse glitter, and it has a little crown, but he's kind of so ugly that I actually like him. And again, he's a festive bird, so I have to respect my partner's traditions. We have this lovely little bear, and he's just made of felt. He's kind of somewhere between 2D and 3D, and I just think he's really, really cute. I love little teddy bears. And we have a little toy train. He's red with black wheels, and he has his little face. He has a little cheeky smile, and I think he's really quite perfect. We have a little blue bird. Oh. We have a gold star, which again is quite simple but effective. I think it balances well with all the chaotic decorations. We have a little like motorboat. No context to that. We just saw it and we liked it. I think we were in a bit of a kind of Christmas ornament shopping frenzy by that point, so we were just picking random things. She's missing an antler, but this is a little love bug ornament. She's a little ladybird. And she's holding a heart. And I actually have her other antler just to the side, so I'm going to super glue that on later tonight. But yeah, really cute. And finally we have in this little box, we have a Christmas pickle, which we were told by the people in this shop, Cather Wolfhart, that it's actually a German tradition to have a pickle somewhere on the tree, and the first person to find it like gets good luck for the year or something along those lines. And that's basically everything. I'm sorry we had to kind of rush the end, but I'm aware that this music, I'm hoping that you can't hear it, but it's very, very loud, so I can almost guarantee that you will be able to hear it. It's getting louder, so I'm gonna have to just kind of cut the video short, but I've shown you everything there is to show, and I really hope that you've enjoyed watching, and I really hope that you have a good festive period. I mean, you'll hear from me again before Christmas, but yeah, thank you so much for being here, and have a good night.